Hello, Facebook. This is Stephen. It's 1 p.m. Eastern, and we are starting on time. I don't know where we are today, but this really is the Just Do It show with myself and Linda. Hello.
Hello.
Where are we today?
Well, today I decided we're in Alpine, California, which is about 30 miles east of downtown San Diego. And they have an outlet center here at the Indian Reservation. We live on an Indian reservation right now, which we're going to be moving in a week, I think. A week, yeah. So I'm here at the outlet center, the Viejas Outlet Center. So here it is, beautiful outlet center.
It's sunny.
Yeah, I'm wearing short sleeves. I'm wearing no sleeves. I was going to wear a long sleeve shirt today, and it's too hot at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so here we go. Here's some advertising.
Okay.
So that's where I am today. I'll be walking around, during our show today, just to do something different. Yeah, just do it different.
Just do it differently. And I want to give a shout out and congratulations to Barbara. She's just done her first live show this afternoon. She's just done it, first ever, and it was a wonderful show. So congratulations to Barbara, and hope you go on to do many more shows, because once you've got your first show, this is addictive, isn't it?
That's for sure. I think I did 3 yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Well, something inspires me, and I want to share, and so the thing is, like, we can share in the moment. And some experts would say, oh, you shouldn't do that. Everything should be scheduled. You should know what you're going to talk about. But it depends on what your mission is and who you want to attract. And, I'm being me, and that's who I am. And so as long as I'm showing up as me, I'm going to attract the right people. So if that's 3 times in one day because I'm inspired, if I'm inspired, in my opinion, you need to get out there and share it, whatever is inspiring you, because that is the moment you're inspired, not in 2 hours when it's scheduled.
True. Be spontaneous.
Yeah. And that's what my brand is all about, though. It's spontaneity, right? So maybe your brand isn't. Maybe it's more structured. And so you need to have things scheduled out. But that's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it, as Les Brown says. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Right. Now, the thing we do want to promote over the coming weeks is Taco Tuesday. How's that? Yes. That's it. I got it.
You do. Taco Tuesday. We'll share that, because for those who are watching, who haven't been watching Stephen and I, first he thought it was Taco Tuesday. Well, I guess that's how they say tacos in England.
It is.
But it's actually talk, Talk. So that's where I threw him for a loop, because I didn't spell it for him. So yeah, Taco Tuesday. Oh my gosh. We're getting applications every day, Stephen. It's really exciting. At the beginning, I got to share with you guys, I had this idea to do a talk show, and it was actually a year ago. And I know that because the domain name came up for renewal yesterday. So it was a year ago that I had this idea. I'm going to put on a talk show. I'm going to call it Talk-O Tuesday. And it was born, but nothing happened with it. So how often do you have ideas and you don't do anything with them? And that's okay, because sometimes they need to ruminate in your brain so that it turns into something that's going to be really cool. And I think that's why this kind of got put on the back burners, because I had to figure out what was it going to be about? Who was I going to have on the show? And so after Stephen and I started doing this show, I was like, oh my gosh, I think I found my partner, my partner in crime, Stephen Healey, And so I asked Stephen if he would produce the show. And that's when everything started kind of being put into motion. Well, then we started sharing it, and people weren't submitting applications. So I started to get a little bit worried. And, I'm sharing this because for those of you who are doing shows who aren't having people show up, just keep going. Because there's a book called 3 Feet from Gold. It tells a story about this guy who stopped 3 feet from gold. Literally, he was going to hit a gold vein, but he didn't know it. So he stopped. And so anyway, the gold that he would have hit had he kept going 3 more feet is the gold that fills Fort Knox today. So I want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, if you have a passion for it and you love absolutely love doing it, and you're not sure what the results are going to be, just keep going. Keep going. Follow that passion. Follow that dream. Because now what's happening is where auditions are starting for Taco Tuesday. What we're doing is we're going to audition co-host. I'm looking for 2 co-hosts to be on the show. So we're going to do auditions like American Idol. People are going to vote, and they're going to decide who my co-host should be. So I'm really excited because people are like, what are the topics about? I don't know. Because once the co-hosts are decided on, that's how we'll determine what the topics are going to be. So as my co-host, you are going to be a part of the decision making. You know, Stephen, me, and you are going to be the ones who make the decisions of what our topics are going to be, which guests we're going to have on board. You know, I have an arsenal of really amazing people who may not be famous in name, but they're famous in products like UGG Boots. You know, he's a friend of mine, the founder of UGG Boots. Make-A-Wish Foundation, the creator, you know, he's a friend of mine. So these are some of the people that we'll have on our show. So you're going to have an opportunity to interview them on the show. But what I'm sharing here is that I had this idea. I let it sit for a little while. And when I put it out there, nobody bit. And I really considered Stephen kanking it. But I said, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep going. If there's only 2 people who put in applications and audition, then I know who my co-hosts are. But just yesterday, I think I got 4 applications yesterday alone, which, like in the American Idol grand scheme of things, that's not very many, you know. But for me, for little Lynda West here, you know, in Alpine, California, that's a lot in one day. So right now, our applications, I think we're up to about 11, and it's actually 10 more than I thought I'd get. So it's exciting.
Well, I think the brilliance of this idea is that people are getting a chance. Everybody who's put the name forward, the 11 who've put the name forward, will get the chance to be on a show and gain exposure and get to know your audience. And then the audience will become involved. And now we can actually say, we can do live voting now.
Yeah.
Because Be Live has got polls, and we could do live voting so that the person who's going to go through the knockout stages towards the final, because there is going to be a grand final for all this before the show starts. The show starts in January, yes?
Yeah, the show starts in January, and the auditions start November 6th. So the first show is going to be January 8th. It's going to run for 12 weeks. It's 1 season, and we're going to test it out and see how it goes. I am so excited, if you cannot tell.
Oh, I can tell. And I'll put the link to the application form in the comments afterwards. So if you're thinking about it now, then you can actually go in and fill in the form. And once you fill in the form, Lynda gets the form, sends a copy to me, and then we'll be going through all the contestants and working out a schedule for the shows. Yes. And that's going to be fun, isn't it? That's the fun part.
Yeah, it's really cool because, you know, watching the videos has been a lot of fun. Seeing the applications coming in, of course, is fun. And just, you know, having an idea and putting it into motion, you know, that's like our just do it thing, right? Like, even though this was one, like I had the idea a year ago and I didn't just do it. This was one of those where I like, you know, I need to sit with this one. So sometimes you need to sit with things, but don't sit with them too long, because then your idea might disappear. But, you know, I had this idea, and putting it into motion and seeing it actually come to fruition is very, very, very exciting. I just beside myself because people are actually interested. You know?
All right. Note from Abigail, and Abigail's saying, sorry, I thought we could apply until the 6th of November.
No, the auditions start the 6th of November. I'm so glad you brought that question up, because you want to submit your application by October, I think it's October 25th. I think that's the cutoff for submitting your application. So go ahead and submit your application today. You know, it's very short. Really, basically, it's like your name, your email address, your phone number, and submit a short video. So if you've done a video anywhere, go ahead and submit it. Just that video. If you haven't done one, do one today and then submit it. You know, we do need to see you on video. We can't have people trying out who haven't done a video before, because we need to make sure, first of all, that you can do a video. Will you hit that start button? Some people stop at the start. So go ahead and submit your application today. And so the idea is, Stephen, that we're hoping to have a total of 16 people who apply. Now, if it's less than 16, then everybody's going to be auditioned. If it's more than 16, then Stephen and I have the pleasure, I'm not happy about this, but it's got to happen, of deciding who doesn't get to audition. So that's going to be a hard part, because I want everybody.
What we could do is, if we have everybody for season 1, then the application could be held over to season 2.
Ooh, you so smart. Yes, exactly. And that's what I was thinking. Just kidding.
I'm reading your mind.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. So what we'll have is the season, if we have more than 16 applications, people in season 1, we'll decide who's in season 1, and then the other ones will be carried over to season 2. And we'll make you automatic, like the first people to audition in season 2.
Brilliant. And we say hello to Cheryl, Abigail, Barbara, and Del and Corinda. And thanks for joining us today.
Yes,
these are exciting times. And everybody's talking to everybody, which is wonderful. So Barbara's saying hello to everybody.
So share this out, you guys. If you know somebody who does a show and you think that they might be interested in being a co-host on a show, go ahead and share this out with them, because you can't decide what they want. I will share with you that actually 2 people applied to be on the show that I was like, really? So excited, because I never imagined that these 2 people would be interested in something that I was doing. So the point is that we cannot decide for others what is best for them, or what they're going to like, or what they're not going to like. We can't decide for them. So just share it, and so that people have an opportunity to apply. And it's, TacoTuesday.tv. So to be part of the show. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, Stephen.
It surely is. If you're watching the show and we're not featuring your comments, then you'll find the link up above in the post, and you can come over and you can join us live and comment live, and that would be good. That would be good. We could get everybody together in one room.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, get everybody together in one room. Yeah. Right. So, here's the thing that's really important to me is, because this show is about just doing it. And oh my gosh, can I share something with you that I found out today?
Off you go.
Okay, I'm going to share it with you, but it's not like what do you call it, etched in stone yet. So I'm going to share with you something I'm not sure about, but I will tell you that I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe that what we put out to the universe will come back to us. I also believe that we can make things happen by maybe pushing a little bit harder than we think we should. So anyway, I'm going to an event called Arts for Peace next week. It's the 28th of October, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Frank Shankwitz, who is the creator of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he has a movie coming out called Wishman. And what's cool is Wishman movie has been nominated for Most Inspirational Movie of the Year. And so excited, I'm going to be going to this event. Well, here's something that's cool. This is part of being in service to others, as well as seeing opportunity and jumping on it. So I am in service to others. Most of the time, I'm always about other people. And so somebody reached out to me and said, hey, will you help organize the event? Like, they need a little bit of help, just like the tying up the loose ends. And I said, of course, So I'm there and I'm helping. And then I thought, you know what? This is an awards ceremony. I love being red carpet. I've done it before. I'm going to ask to be media at the event, so that I was going to attend as an attendee, because I am an executive producer of the movie Wishman. And I thought, you know what, though? I think I'd rather be on the red carpet. So I reached out and I said, can I be on the red carpet instead? Well, they reached out to me today and said, you know what? I think we can do you one better than being on red carpet. I think we can have you presenting awards. And I just like, what? Oh my God. Wow. So they're going to try to make it happen. I don't know if it's going to, but my point on that is that sometimes we need to put ourselves out there. in ways that we don't, like, I didn't have any benefit that I was going to gain from helping, except having a, like, my heart knew I was going to be helping with the, helping with the event. That was it. I'm attending as an attendee. If you're attending as an attendee, you might think, well, you know what? I don't really have time to help or whatever. Some people might think that, but not me. I'm like, I'm helping. So what that did is that led to something totally different than I ever imagined. So having a servant heart is really, a great thing to help you get what you want without even knowing that you want it, I guess is what I'm kind of saying.
Indeed. I'm just starting a live poll. And the live poll is...
This is a new feature from Be Live, by the way.
New feature. I'm bringing it up on screen. And the poll is, when you get an idea, do you think about it, write it down, or just do it?
What do you do, Stephen? What's your answer?
Just do it. I just do it. Get an idea and I just run with it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then I move on to something else. But Abigail is saying, safe travels to Joel from Barbara. And Barbara is saying, wow, mic drop moment. And Abigail is saying, congratulations, Lynda. And
Thank you.
Rock. You rock.
Thank you.
There you are.
Well, and it's not about me. It's just like, I don't tell these stories to, like, it's not to brag at all, because it's just the excitement to share that this can happen to you too. I'm just a regular person. I was born in a town called Chula Vista, California. We're like 3 miles north of the Mexico border. And, I grew up in a gang neighborhood. I didn't have money. From month to month, my parents had no idea if we were going to be able to be fed. So they had to decide, pay the mortgage or feed the kids. That was their daily decision or monthly decision. And so I grew up in poor, and it's not like I'm mega rich or anything like that by any means, but I'm sharing that sometimes we need to do things that are a little bit against our grain. And it's not really against our grain. It's stepping out of that comfort zone to get what we want. There's a saying, I think it's Jim Rohn. I'm not sure if it's him, so I don't want to quote the wrong person. It says, you will get what you want if you help enough other people get what they want. So how can you help others to also help you get what you want? So for me, it's really, I do have a servant heart. So I help others just naturally. It's who I am. It's what I've always done. So I've done a lot of charity work for the last 30 years, So it's who I am. But it's like, finally, I'm discovering that I can have a vision of what I want out of it. But it's not like what's in it for me? I'm going to do this because I want this. No, it's I'm going to help. And then I look, how can I take this further and also help me in a different way? And so, reaching out and just saying, hey, can I be on the red carpet, turned into something totally different than I expected. Now, it's not set in stone yet, but I'm putting it out there that is happening just because I'm going to make it happen.
Make it happen. And the poll, if people can't find it, if you're on mobile, then it should be next to the comments section. If you're on desktop, you should be able to hover over our picture now, and you should get the option for poll. And it's usually the top right hand corner of your screen.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a poll yet, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. Can they vote on the poll afterwards, or is it only while it's live?
It's only while it's live, and the poll is live for as long as you want it to be. So it can be live for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then you end the poll, and then you put up another poll. So you can have several polls during the show.
Okay.
I'm hoping somebody finds it.
That's cool. So what we're going to do, Stephen, for the Taco Tuesday voting is we're going to have messenger bots set up so that people can vote via messenger bot, but also to have the on-screen poll would be fun too. Can people see what the other, like how many votes are ticking away?
Oh yeah, you can see it live. You just need one person to find it, and it'll be working.
Someone find it now.
It's so new. I mean, in a couple of weeks down the line, everybody will just do it. They'll just click it. At the moment, it's only 24 hours old, and it's
okay.
So people will find it. It's showing on screen at the moment, but that's not the main point. We're just testing things.
because we're just putting that poll out there. So are you able to share your screen to show them what it looks like or not?
Well, I can't. I can only see the results. What I'm going to do just for a moment. Barbara's saying it's small lines in the by the comments area, and I'm putting it full screen now. We actually have a vote, and our first vote is writing it down. So that's good. That's good.
Cool.
So if Barbara's found it and voted, and Abigail can't see it. It should be in the comments area. Abigail, don't worry about it. If you can't see it, then
well, you know, Stephen, there are some people that would drive them nuts if they couldn't find it. So
I know. That's what I was afraid of, that it wouldn't show properly. And Barbara's found it, and Barbara's saying it's a round circle with lines.
A round circle with lines. That is cool. Well, you know, I do all three. So when I have an idea, if I'm pressed for time and I know that it doesn't fit in with what I'm working on currently, I actually write it down, and I have an idea box. So I throw my ideas into a box, because I get ideas. Sometimes I might get 5 or 6 ideas in one day. And so it's impossible for me to do all of them. So I put things into an idea box, and then I go through my idea box every once in a while, like when I'm not doing anything, which isn't very often. But I pull out my idea box and say, oh, yeah, I remember this one. This is awesome. So I actually, next week, one of the ideas I had over a year and a half ago, you know, I mention it to people every once in a while, just to kind of keep it in my mind. And I mentioned to a gentleman, and it's actually having an online store, and I'll share what it is when we launch. But I was talking to him about it. He goes, oh, let's do that together, because I do the part that you don't do, and you do the part that I don't do. So we ended up making like a partnership. We're going to talk next week about it and how we're going to both play our roles and make it happen. So excited again. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There is a lot of that's what amazes me, that you've got all these projects on the go. It's like spinning plates. You know, the act comes on stage and he starts with 1 plate, then 2, and you're totally amazing. And
oh, thank you.
Barbara is right. And Abigail, if you're on a cell phone, Abigail, you've just made a comment. To the right of the comments is a little button. If you press that, you should be able to see the poll. So sorry about this, Linda. So if you just go along the where you just type the comment, nope, I'm on the phone. Next to that should be a little button. Right. Okay.
This is actually cool, though, because this is only launched 24 hours ago, Stephen, and you're teaching people about a brand new feature on Be Live, and we both love Be Live TV. So, you know, if you have a show, if you're thinking of having a show, you know, I think it was Barbara you said did her first video today. You know, congratulations, that's so awesome. When you start doing a little bit more and you want to be able to throw things up on the screen and you want to be able to do a lot more, I highly recommend checking out BeLive.tv, BELIVE. TV, because it allows you to be able to do the things that Stephen is doing right now.
Right. Okay, Abigail. I'll stop the poll in a moment, and we'll do some experimenting. When we come back next week, we'll have it working totally. So don't worry about it now. We'll do it later. And Barbara's saying so very cool, which is good, brilliant.
Yes, Stephen, what do you have going on?
Oh.
You're producing a lot of shows now.
I'm producing a lot of shows. I have something amazing going on later today. I can't tell you.
Ooh,
you'll
teaser.
know next week. You'll know next. This is a teaser for something you'll know next week, which will blow your minds.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That ain't fair.
In fact, word. No, it's not. Word may leak out today. We don't know, but it's exciting to actually be involved and. New horizons.
Is this something with Be Live?
It could be.
Is it bigger than a red box?
Right, and
is it on planet Earth?
Right. It is on planet Earth. Well, yes and no. The question, Abigail, is when you get an idea, do you A, think about it, B, write it down, or C, just do it. So think about it, write it down, or just do it, and then you can answer in the comments, please. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry,
so yeah, we'll get that poll thing figured out.
That was naughty of me. Right. Okay, it was naughty. Right. Okay, you will know, I promise you, and you will be blown away by it.
Okay, well, tell us something else that's not a secret that you could, like, what are you working on? What's going on over there?
Right. I'm working on a Udemy course with RJ Redden.
Oh, what's that going to be about?
That's about messenger bots. And basically, we're teaming up because I know about Udemy. RJ knows everything about messenger bots. So RJ is creating a course about messenger bots. I'm helping. I'm putting my guest bot in there. And it's going to be an amazing course. And it's called Bots for Broadcasters, which I think is a pretty good title. And it's Bots for Broadcasters using ManyChat, and it includes 3 bots which we can all make use of. One is the guest bot, which we use regularly on this show. The second is the welcome bot, which sends out reminders to people of when your show is on. Yeah. And then the third is the show bot. Now, we started this on 5 Days Live, or no, I didn't. I don't, nothing to do with it. RJ did it. And it's a bot so that when people type in info, it actually tells you all about your hosts on the show. So like we did for 5 Days Live, when people typed in info, you can find all about Lynda, all about Stephen, all about RJ, all about Brigetti. And it links then to our websites and the special offers that we have in terms of 5 Days Live. So the 5 Days Live bot is going to be part of the Udemy course. The Udemy course is due out by Black Friday, before Black Friday. So it will be on a very special price on that day. And looking forward to it, and it's a pleasure to actually work with RJ on it.
This is awesome.
I'm actually learning at the same time. And Barbara's saying it sounds fantastic, and Abigail's answer is think about it. Okay, and wow, that's great. Yep, Udemy course is going to be amazing.
Yeah, this is good timing too, because you said Black Friday is a great time to launch something, and what a great idea! I love it. I love so it's going to be specific to people who have broadcast shows, and is it going to be teaching them how to create their own, or is it going to be something where there are templates for them to use? Do you know that yet?
Yes and yes.
Cool.
Right. First of all, each bot is treated 5 ways. First of all, is a demonstration of what the bot does, so you can actually see it working. Second is how the bot has been built. Third is written instructions, and then, as you said just then, there is a template. So if you want to take the template, you can take it straight across the ManyChat and start using it straight away. And but you can then just alter it to be your bot rather than our bot. So everything you actually need to get going. It doesn't assume anything, but it takes you step by step through building your own ManyChat bots. And once you've got those 3 bots up and running, then you can say, that's how it's done, and you can start doing your own. Yeah. And we also talk about broadcasts, how you can actually broadcast out and before the show. I mean, on a normal day, today's definitely not a normal day. On a normal day, I send out a broadcast 10 minutes before the show, and people then know that the show's going to be on in 10 minutes and can join in exactly when we go live. So a host of things in the Udemy course. I'm looking forward to completing that and to setting it out into the wild so that you can actually take on a life of its own.
Yeah, I think it's a really great idea, and because like me, for example, I can do that kind of stuff, but I prefer not to. And so, having a simple template or, something that I can easily plug into is brilliant. I love it. Thank you so much, you guys. What a great team. Well, I want to talk about that, Stephen, is, so often, especially, entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs feel like they have to do things on their own. And so here, Stephen and RJ have totally different skills, right? And so they looked at that and they said, hey, how can we, I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but, how can we combine our skills to do something together that's going to be really, really awesome, deliverable for people. And so they came up with this great idea. So I want you to think about, what is something that you're sitting there, maybe you're not doing it. I help people go from procrastinator to actionator, turn people into action takers, right? And so one of the biggest things that people have with procrastination is that they think they have to do everything themselves. That's one of the biggest things. After that, it comes like learning how to delegate. Then it comes like just, finding out like, what are your skills? What are your skills? And those are the things that you should be doing. But the things that are not your skill, you shouldn't be beating your head against the wall trying to do it or not doing it. And finding somebody who's your alter ego. So here we have Stephen and RJ are a perfect fit. Me and the gentleman I'm teaming up with, David, we're a perfect fit because I'm the visionary and he's the nuts and bolts guy. So it's perfect. So think of somebody that you know that has the complementary features that you don't have. So now it might be somebody that you it's not going to probably be like a good friend, because a lot of times our friends are people who are just like us, whereas the alter is, the person, the opposite of us, is going to be somebody that we don't usually hang out with. I'm not saying that Stephen and RJ don't hang out, but they're in different countries, so they don't. But
we do hang out, but online.
Yeah. So find somebody who loves doing the stuff that you hate doing. And maybe you can team up with them to make it happen, whatever it is that you're putting off, so you can actually get out there and just do it.
And that's the key. And this is the beauty of live video, is that you do meet people who you have something in common with, or you have areas of expertise which knit, and you can actually create something together which you could never think of doing alone. Yeah.
Right.
And that's where this live video thing is absolutely fantastic, because every single week we meet new people and we strike a chord mutually, and you say, right, I'm going to talk to you after this show, and things sort of grow from there.
Right. That's what happened with us.
It is.
That's exactly.
It's totally true. We can track it back to an interview on the Live Video Hub. We did that. I know.
Yes, you don't know where things are going to go, and if you close off they'll probably say no. That's one of the worst things you can do, because you've decided for that person. So let them make the decision. I have a method called the ASK method, ASK. So the A stands for always assume the answer is yes. Assume the answer is yes. So everything I go into, I assume it's going to be yes. And I'll tell you what, most of the time it is yes. And being on a red carpet, that was something I was scared to ask, but I asked anyway, and the answer was yes. If I hadn't asked, it would have been no.
That's true. Yeah. Don't be afraid of reaching out, because you never know. As you quite rightly say, you can't answer for the other person. And if you get somebody at the right place, right time, then Corinda's agreeing and saying that ask is yes. So hello, Corinda, and thank you for sharing the show, Corinda.
Thank
you. We
do
appreciate it. We do appreciate it. And we love the fact that everybody gets involved and joins in the show, because it's not the thing about Be Live TV is that whilst we're on screen, it's all of us talking together, which reminds me, if anybody wants to join us on screen, then I'm going to copy the link, and hopefully, I'm not sure whether this is working or not, so forgive me if it's not.
Well, something you said there, Stephen, it was don't be scared to ask. Well, so I'll take a little bit different view on that, is that maybe you will be scared to ask, but ask anyway. Ask scared, because I don't know how many times I have sent an email or a text message, trembling on the other side, and then I hit send anyway. But after I hit send, I feel so proud of myself that I did it, because I was scared. And then the results that come back most of the time are in my favor. So I think about how, gosh, if I hadn't hit send, or if I hadn't done that this would not be happening today. So if I let my fear, get in my way, then I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff I'm doing today, because I'm a totally different person today than I was, even 6 months ago.
Now, I've got a question from Corinda, and the question is, where are you today? And it's very windy.
Oh, is it?
But
Is
it's very
the sound
sunny.
too? Yeah, it's sunny. It's beautiful. Look at the nice blue sky. There's not a single cloud in the sky. I'm here at the Viejas Indian Reservation in Alpine, California, and I'm in the shopping mall where I decided to do the show because they have really good Wi-Fi right here.
And that's all you need is
I'm trying
good
to keep the wind
Wi-Fi.
down. So
No,
I'm covering my microphone to keep the wind down.
Right, and Corinda's saying, but I've seen some broadcasts, they don't get to ask the people, they just do it. Well, okay. Right, okay, we're working on that one, Corinda. I'll come back to you. To everybody who's watching and is just showing the show, thank you. If you're not on the Be Live in 5 page, then you'll find a link to join Lynda and I directly. Just click the link, it'll bring you straight over here. And Abigail is saying that she loves where you are.
Yeah, it is really beautiful up here. It's starting to get a little chilly, and I have no sleeves on, so.
Oh,
You know, it's funny. Last week, I was interviewed on a show, and we don't have very much Wi-Fi because we're doing RV life right now. So we're traveling to different parts of California or San Diego. We're going to stay in San Diego, but anyway, so I was like, I got to find a place to do my show. So I went across the street. It was about a mile away where I went, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So I got out of my car. I set up my selfie stand because I have this selfie stand. I set it up. And I brought a chair with me, to sit in. And I was sitting in this chair, had my selfie stand, and it was an hour interview. About 55 minutes into the interview, the police showed up. I was like, oh no. Well, they showed up because somebody said there's some weird lady in next to her car sitting there on her phone or something like that. So they came to check it out.
You spooked people.
It was so funny. And he asked me, I said, oh, I just had no connection where I was, so I came to get some internet connection. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to be on video? Boom, you're on film.
Yeah. When Fonz is doing his the live show, I Live Here, where he actually tours around Cambridgeshire.
Yeah.
He goes into places and they're not all welcoming. They're not all welcoming.
Right.
So he quickly comes back out again. Well,
and if he ever gets arrested, it'll be on film.
True. And Barbara's saying, holy cow, the police, how funny. We are 45 degrees here in New York.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cold.
It is cold. I mean, it's probably about, Fahrenheit.
That's like 12? Is that like 12 Celsius or something?
It is, yeah. Yeah, we're about 14 or 15 at the moment. This temperature thing, yeah, I mean, it is warmer than it should be over here. It has to be said, which we're all grateful for. You can't go out in short sleeves, but you can actually go out without the overcoat on, winter coat. So that's good. Right, okay, now I note that it's cold. So if we just cover what we've been through, Talker Tuesday is running and goes live, where you've got to have your application. If you're interested in being on the co-host on Lynda's show in January, then please put your applications in by October 25th. And the show is Talker Tuesday, and I'm practicing my pronunciation of that so that by the new year I will be good. And
yeah. You got it down, Stephen. You got it down.
All right. Okay, we're good. And
well, the premise of the show is fun, inspire, and uplift. And the reason I came up with those, I was talking to somebody trying to figure out what is the purpose of the show. And it was about 4 years ago. I left my corporate job November of 4 years ago, and when I started my journey of entrepreneurship, I wanted to figure out what is it that I'm supposed to be doing, and going down this journey trying to figure all that out. Well, it took me a while. It took me almost 4 years to figure that out. But when I started the journey, I realized that I wanted to have as much fun in my life as possible, hanging out with inspiring and uplifting people who want to make positive impact on the planet. And so because of that, I thought, you know what, that's what my show should be about, is fun and being fun, inspiring, and uplifting, because that's who I want to hang out with. So why don't I make my show about that, so that I'm hanging out with those kinds of people all the time, right? So that's what it's all about. And if you want to be part of that, if you'd like to be a co-host on the show, it'll be me, you, and one other person co-hosting. We'll have guests on every week. If you have somebody that you know that you're like, oh my God, I totally got to get this person on the show to interview them, then let's bring them on. We'll talk about that. This isn't like Linda's show. This is a talk show where the three of us, me and the two co-hosts, and Stephen as a producer, we'll talk about, what is it that we want to accomplish, the 12 weeks that we're doing season 1. What is it that we want to, the messages that we want to deliver out to people? Well, it is going to be fun, inspiring, and uplifting, but in what method are we going to deliver that to them? So if you have people that that we can interview on the show that you think that would be fun, inspiring, and uplifting, let's get them on the show and let's make it happen. It's going to be so much fun.
Totally. And now is the time to get your application in and get involved. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, the thing is that this gives you, if you have a business, and you want more business, you got to get yourself out there. So whether it's getting yourself out there by, sending emails to your email list, going to networking events, getting on phone calls, having your own show, being interviewed on other people's shows, maybe it's on podcasts, having your own podcast, whatever it is, maybe you're doing workshops, but being a co-host on this show, why do you want to do this? Well, because I have an audience, and the other person who's co-host has an audience, and you're able to tap into their audience. But in addition, I'm able to tap into your audiences, right? The two co-host audiences, as well as the guest audience. So this gives you more notoriety. This gives people an opportunity to get to see you in a different way. It gives them an opportunity to see what you're all about. And then if they like you, they're going to want to communicate with you, and who knows, maybe they'll become your next customer, or maybe they'll become your next advocate, sharing customers with you. You don't know. And that's the thing about opportunities. We don't know what the result is going to be, but you can't go into it expecting a certain result, but go into it with an open mind, saying, wow, this is a great opportunity. I don't know what's going to happen out of it, but I'm going to jump on it, and I am going to just do it. I'm going to apply. And if I don't get selected, that's okay, but at least I applied. Your answer is no if you don't apply automatically. But then, we move you into season 2.
This is true.
It's a win-win. Win.
We're working this out as we progress through the journey from actually applying to being on season 1 or on season 2. Now, I've been issued a challenge. Corinda has said, is there a German word for talk o Tuesday? And he thought he would be, I'm going to say Sprechen am Dienstag, which is probably close. I know that, you're right, okay. I'll close that down for now.
It doesn't have the ring to it as Taco Tuesday.
No, it doesn't. No. Yeah, it doesn't. It does not. Right. Abigail is saying, can't wait to introduce you to Latinos that are making a difference in people's life here in the USA.
Awesome.
Well, it is. We look first ever live show today.
Yay!
So she starts in 17 minutes. So Catherine, wish you every success. And that's from everybody on the Just Do It show.
Where can they find your show, Catherine? Where can they find it? And then it was Barbara, I think, earlier. Barbara, put a link to your first live. Put it in the comments below. Give people an opportunity to go over there and check it out. And don't be nervous. I know you're probably saying, no, I don't want to do that. But you know what? Do it anyway. Because the more often you step outside of your comfort zone, the larger your comfort zone grows. Now, I'm not doing, some of the things I'm doing now are things that were never, they were so far outside of my comfort zone that I wouldn't have done them had I not gone through. I went through a year of fears. I faced a fear every single day in 2015. These are things that, because I have faced fears so often, now I do things because I'm scared, and it makes it so much more fun. I'm like, oh, I'm scared to do this. That's why I have to do it. And it has enlarged the size of my comfort zone. Now I can walk in, like I interviewed President Vicente Fox of Mexico, and I was not nervous in the least bit. And that's because of all the fears I faced and I put myself through. So I'm not saying that I'm fearless, because that's totally not the case. I still have fears, but I recognize them quickly, and I just say, oh, it's fear. That's why I'm going to do it. So it just changes, the way I deal with fear. So I'm not saying that you are scared, but if you're scared, to put the link below in the comments. I'm just saying, stretch yourself a little bit. Put that link in that comments. Let us go over there and support you. Let us go and support you. Often, we don't want to share things because we're fearful of judgment. We're fearful of what people are going to think about us, what they're going to say about us. In reality, most of us are supportive. So if you put that link below, we're going to go watch it, and we're going to be supportive of you. We're not going to be judgmental.
Totally. I totally agree. And Barbara is saying, so kind, thank you. And she's going to share her own show.
Yay!
And Catherine's too. Wonderful.
Fantastic.
All right. And a comment from Barbara. Lynda, your book is helping me.
Oh, so, thank you. That's so awesome. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that book, it means a lot to me, and I love to hear that it helps people. So thank you for sharing that. And you know what I'd like, Barbara, if you could in the comments, I'm sorry, who is the person that's going live in a couple minutes?
Catherine.
Barbara, if you could maybe just really quick, just drop a little note of encouragement for Catherine. She's getting ready to do her first live. You just did your first live. So you're like living it in the moment, right? For me, my first live was over 2.5 years ago. So I don't remember exactly that first time I went live. But share with her some words of encouragement that will help her to see how awesome it is, how fun it is, to do your first one, and to maybe not to be nervous, to not be nervous, and to just be yourself. And so share some words of encouragement with her, coming from the place that you are, that you just did your first one. If you don't mind, that would be awesome. Thank you.
And I know that Corinda is getting a new laptop, and his shows will be back soon. So it's good to know that everybody, everybody is getting involved.
Yeah.
And Barbara, right? Okay, Barbara and Catherine are good friends, and cool. I think they're helping and supporting each other, and testing, and well, whatever they're doing, it's working. Because Barbara's show today was, for her first show, was absolutely brilliant.
Fantastic! I love it. Congratulations.
Indeed. Right. Okay. Now you said it's cold out there.
It's getting a little cold.
Right, okay. Shall we, for this week, we'll be back at the same time next week. We'd like to close the show for today, Lynda, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, I love to close the show. Thanks for giving me that opportunity, Stephen, because you know how much I love to preach about just doing it. I spent a lot of my years in my life being a people pleaser, and it didn't really get me very far, because I spent so much time worrying about other people, what they're going to think about me, what they were going to say about me. And, I have my own stories as to why I was that way. But I got to tell you, after breaking through fears every single day for an entire year, it really changed my mindset. It really put me on a different path to learn to just do it. To, instead of thinking and like overthinking things, overanalyzing things, instead of worrying about what other people thought about me, I started just doing things. And what that did is it put me on a path to a place that I never, ever in my wildest dreams would have imagined. So I want you to open up your mind and think about opportunities. When you see an opportunity, seize it. Now, you might not actually see it visually, but you will feel it. If you're starting to feel a little bit anxious, starting to feel a little bit nervous about something, there's a reason for that. That's because it's something that's not familiar to you. It's something that's outside of your comfort zone. When you start to feel those anxiety feelings, what I want you to do is I want you to say, you know what, I got this. And I want you to just go forward and just do it. Keep living your life that way, because the size of your comfort zone will expand beyond your ever imagination. So, and as Walt Disney said, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. So put yourself out there and just do it, and we'll see you next week.
We so will. And Abigail is looking to share her Facebook page. We'll help you do that in the coming shows. Thank you for watching us today. Take care, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again same time next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a